Hi everyone. For math today, we're going to be looking at bar graphs. For one of the activities, you're going to be looking at scaled bar graphs, which remember, when you're looking at a scaled bar graph, you really have to keep in mind about the key. Remember we talked about the key? So we're going to go through this while keeping in mind the key, if we can find it on this chart. So the directions are to use the tally chart right here to complete the bar graph. Then answer the questions that follow. Students in Mrs. Kemp's class were asked to choose their favorite subject. Use the results from the tally chart to complete the bar graph. Okay, here's our key. It says one box equals 2 students. So we can't color in a box for every one student because one box represents 2 students. So let's look at reading. Count up those tally marks to determine how many students' favorite subject is reading. Okay, well, counting by tally marks, 5, 10. Okay, now I can't color in 10 boxes because the scale tells us that one box equals 2 students. So I have to skip count by 2s. One box equals 2. 2 boxes is 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, for math, counting it up, 5, 6, 7, 8 students. We can't color in 8 boxes, remember, because each box represents 2. So we have to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. Next up is science, 5, 10, 12. Okay, counting by 2s, let's give it a shot. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. And then last but not least, this one's a little bit tricky because when we look at social studies, votes were 5, 10, 11. But you might understand that counting by 2s, we're never going to say 11. So let's get as high as we can without passing 11 and then figure out what we're going to do. So there are 11 votes. We have to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But if we colored in this whole box, we'd be up to 12. So if this line is up to 10 and this line is up to 12, can you figure out how much of this box we'd need to color in to show 11? Halfway in between, because 11 is halfway between 10 and 12. So up to halfway would be 11. Now, when we look at the questions, how many more students like science than math? Be very careful because the easy answer would be, let's see, 1, 2 more, 2. But that's not correct because we have to remember one box equals 2 students. So make sure you count by 2s. How many more like science than math? 2, 4. 4 more students like science and math. How many total students are in Mrs. Kemp's class? To solve this, you can count up the tally marks to figure out the votes. All right, have fun with this worksheet. The other one that you can choose to do is not a scaled bar graph. It's just having you practice interpreting it, answering some of the questions, so you don't have to worry about looking for the key on the next worksheet. Have fun, and I'll see you later.